Okay, so the next chapter is probability. Probability. This is Maths chapter 25, the last chapter of your book, right? What is probability? So we all sometimes use, phrases like most likely, almost uncertain, most probably, no chance at all. So we don't know what actually we are talking about. We just have the idea of the concept which is behind this. The core concept behind all these phrases, which exhibit the certainty of a event taking place, is probability. Now, all these terms they relate to a measure of uncertainty, and that measure of uncertainty is theory of probability. Like, what are the chances that it can rain today? Chances, the phrase which I have used, what are the chances? There is no chance of rain at all today. It's summer. No chance of rain at all. No chance at all. Again, it is the theory of probability, right? So, chance or probability, certainty, uncertainty, probably, likely, these all terms are related with the theory of probability. And this theory of probability, if you study it properly, it is of great mathematical use and great practical importance, right? So we are going to study some basic terms and concepts related with probability. Basic terms and concepts related to probability. Okay, the first term is experiment. Now, whenever you use this word experiment, chemistry lab comes in your mind. But the experiment which we are going to define here is very, very general and does not specifically deal with the process which is happening inside a chemistry lab. So, what is an experiment in the language or in the context of probability? Experiment is a process which results in some well-defined outcomes. So, experiment is nothing but a process, right, which has well defined outcomes. Well defined, what do you mean by well defined? Well defined means which is already known. So can we give some example of experiment? Tossing a coin. Tossing a coin is an experiment. Why tossing a coin is an experiment? Because we know that when we toss a coin, we will get some well defined pre known outcomes. What are those outcomes? When we toss a coin, we know that we will either get a head or a tail. This head and tail are the well defined outcomes. So, tossing a coin is nothing but an experiment, right? One more example of experiment: throwing of dice, throwing or rolling of dice. Why? Because it has a well defined outcome. What are the outcomes on throwing a dice? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Right? These are the outcomes. Any one of these 6 numbers can show up on the top face of the die. So, experiment is a process which results in some well defined outcomes. Second term, random experiment. The second term is random experiment. random experiment. A random experiment means all the outcomes of the experiment are known in advance, but any specific outcomes of the experiment is not known in advance. So we can again give the example of random experiment as tossing a coin. It is an experiment, but what kind of experiment is tossing a coin? It is a random experiment. Why is tossing a coin a random experiment? Because we know that we will get either a head or a tail, but we don't exactly know which one we will get. So which outcome is going to occur, it is not known. So tossing a coin, throwing a dice are examples of random experiment. Third is sample space, right? Third, you can say important term related with probability is sample space. And sample space is nothing but a set of all possible outcomes. A set of all possible outcomes, right? And it is denoted by letter S. Sample space is denoted by letter S. For example, if the random experiment is tossing a coin, then what will be the sample space in this case? The sample space will be, right? It is a set. Now set is always represented, the elements of set are always represented inside curly brackets. So what are all the possible outcomes when a coin is tossed? Heads or tails. Head and tail, right? H comma T. All the elements of the set are written one besides the other with a comma in between. So sample space of tossing a coin is S is equal to curly bracket H comma T. What is the sample space of rolling a dice? Rolling a dice, sample space 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? So these are the sample space. Okay, some more sample spaces, some general sample spaces which we are going to come across in this chapter are, let's say, tossing two coins simultaneously, that is together. Tossing two coins simultaneously. So we can get two heads, right? We can get the first coin we get head, and on the second coin we get tail. The first can be tail and the second can be head, or both can be tail. So these are all the possible outcomes when two coins are tossed simultaneously. Okay, let us make some more space, and okay, some more sample spaces. Sample spaces. Please note down all these important things. Uh, these are the notes for the chapter. You must note them down before beginning the chapter. What if you toss three coins simultaneously? What if you toss three coins simultaneously? What will be the sample space? The sample space will be H, H, H. Three of them, all the three will give you heads. H, H, T. First two heads and the last one tail. H, T, H. Right? Then uh, T, H, H. The first one tail and the other two heads. Okay, so one tail and two heads, all the possibilities are done. Then it can be H T T, it can be T H T, it can be T T H, right? Two tail and one heads, all the probabilities done. And the last one, I think it should be T T T. So we can either get two heads and one tail, all the different coins, the different positions of tail and heads are covered here. As you can see, 1 2 3 positions, then two tails and one head, 1 2 3 positions, three heads and three tails, right? So all the possible outcomes are noted here. So okay, so this is the sample space of tossing three coins simultaneously. One more sample space of rolling two dice simultaneously. Rolling two dice simultaneously. So what happens when you roll two dice simultaneously? You get a very interesting sample space. Okay, so it can give you 1 1. Both the dice can have one on top of them, top face. 1 2, 1 3, 1 4, 1 5, 1 6, right? Similarly, 2 1, 2 2, 2 3, 2 4, 2 5, 2 6, 3 1, 4 1. I'm just making it quick. 5 1, 6 1, 3 2, comma, 4 2, 5 2, 6 2, 3 3, 4 3, 5 3, 6 3. Now you understand what is happening, right? All the different possible combinations when two dice can be rolled together are being listed over here, right? Then and just finish this because we are going to use this table. This is going to be very, very useful to us. So the next will be 3 4, 3 5, 3 6, 4 4, 4 5, 4 6. 5 4, 5 5, 5 6, 5 sorry 6 4, 6 5, 6 6. So we have got all the possible outcomes when two dice are rolled simultaneously covered over here, right? So let me zoom out and show you what we have got here. Mm, 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 mm. Cool. Okay, so these are the notes we have taken till now. What is probability? Probability is a chance, right, of something happening or not happening, right? Basic terms related to probability. The first term was experiment, which is a process having well-defined outcomes. For example, tossing a coin, rolling a dice. Random experiment, whose outcomes are well-defined outcomes are known, but which outcome will happen to take place, it's not known. That is a random experiment. Tossing a coin and throwing a dice are random experiments. Sample space, a set of all possible outcomes when an experiment happens, takes place, is known as sample space. Right? So I have given you sample space of tossing a coin, rolling a dice, tossing two coins simultaneously, tossing three coins simultaneously, and rolling two dice simultaneously. Cool. Some more things. Okay. Let me zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom out. Okay. Some more things. Next term, after sample space, the next term will be, just a moment. The next term will be equally likely outcomes. Equally likely outcomes. See, let me explain you with an example. Tossing a coin, and I will write in bracket unbiased. What do you mean by unbiased? The coin is not rigged. Have you seen the old movie called Sholay? Have you seen it? Sholay. Why I'm referring to this movie over here is because in this movie Sholay, the actor Amitabh Bachchan has a coin which is rigged. Rigged means biased. Why the coin is rigged in Sholay? That Amitabh Bachchan knows very well because he wants to cheat his friend, right, Dharmendra. So why? What is the story behind this coin? The coin has heads on both the sides. It has heads on both the sides. It has no tail. So every time the a bet is placed, or just to decide on something, if a coin is tossed, then always Amitabh Bachchan would win because his coin is rigged, right? So this kind of coin is not cannot be part of probability because we want unbiased coins. Unbiased means which will have equally likely outcomes. Equally likely outcomes means if we toss a coin, what is the sample space? H comma T. What is the chance of H coming? 50%. And what is the chance of T coming up? 50%. Both have equal chances. Heads and tails both have equal chances. Right? Another example, rolling a dice. We are always referring to these two examples, rolling a dice. What is the sample space? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Any of the number can come up. So each number has a chance of 100 by 6%. 100 by 6, why? Because total chance of showing up a number is 100%. Some number is going to show up out of 1 to 6, right? But each number has got an equal chance. So these are known as equally likely outcomes. When the outcomes can occur in any order, any random order, they are equally likely outcomes. Any outcome can occur. Occurrence of an outcome is not predetermined, cannot be predetermined, because all the outcomes have equal chances of occurring. So these kind of outcomes are equally likely outcomes, and we are going to deal with probability of experiments which have equally likely outcomes, right? Okay, there is one example which I want you to just focus on. Suppose I have a bag. Okay, in this bag, I have a red ball, I have a blue ball, and I have three yellow balls. One red, one blue, and three yellow balls. What is the probability of drawing a ball of any random color? The probability of blue ball is less, the probability of red ball is less, but probability of yellow ball, drawing a yellow ball, is high. Why? Because there are more yellow balls. So the red, the blue, and yellow are the outcomes of all the three balls getting chosen out of this bag without looking into the bag. Are they equally likely outcomes? No. Here yellow has more chances. More chances. So these are not equally likely outcomes. These are not equally likely outcomes. This happens only in a very few cases. Okay, so if we come across any question which has an not equally likely outcomes, we'll definitely come to it. But as of now, we are not going to deal with any not equally likely outcomes. Okay, next term. So what we have done now, we have done equally likely outcomes. The next term will be, let me go to the left side. Okay, we have a lot of space here. The next term will be event. An event. So what is an event? An outcome of a random experiment is called an event. Event is nothing but an outcome. Outcome of what? Outcome of a random experiment. So suppose if I am tossing a coin and I'm getting the outcomes. Suppose I'm getting an outcome head. That's my outcome. So getting a head is an event. Getting ahead is an event, right? So event is outcome of a random experiment, or event is something that happens, right? Okay, so these are all the important terms related with probability. Experiment, random experiment, sample space, equally likely outcomes, event, right? So we have studied each of them in, I think, respectable details. Now let's see how to measure probability. How probability can be measured. Measurement of probability. So there is a formula. Okay, suppose in a random experiment, first we have to take a random experiment. What is a random experiment? Random experiment is a process whose outcomes are well defined but not known. Unknown, well defined outcomes. If a process has unknown, well defined outcomes, yeah, I will write here having unknown but well defined outcomes. Random experiment having unknown but well defined outcomes. Okay. Okay, so first we have taken a random experiment having unknown but well defined outcomes. Now I want to find the probability of happening of event E. I have to find probability of happening of event E. Probability of happening of event E. What is the probability of happening of event E? It is given by m upon n. The probability of happening of event E is given by m by n. What is m here? M is number of favorable outcomes. Okay, now outcomes are, you know what are outcomes, right? Outcomes are the number of elements in the sample space. In the sample space, you get all your outcomes. Favorable outcomes. What do you mean by favorable? Favorable means which you want. Okay? And what is n? N is number of total outcomes. Total outcomes. Here you go. That's a formula for probability. Probability of an event is number of favorable outcomes upon total number of outcomes. We have to take an experiment. Example of an experiment, right? Let's take it over here. So example to show this is let's find the probability of getting an even number on rolling a dice. Let's find the probability of getting an even number on rolling a dice. Now first we have to write the sample space. What is the experiment here? Rolling the dice. So what will be the sample space? If you roll one dice, what will be the outcomes you will get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can get any of these 6 numbers on the top face of the dice, right? So probability of getting an even number has to be found from these particular outcomes which are listed in the sample space over here. Okay, now tell me how many even numbers do you see here? That is your favorable outcomes. How many numbers are there in this sample space which you want? You want even numbers, right? So 2 is okay with you, 4 is okay with you, 6 is okay with you. If any of the number 2, 4 or 6 show up on the top face of the dice, you are okay with that, right? Because you want an even number, right? So if you would write the probability of your event is getting, E means event, right? An event is getting an even number is equal to number of favorable outcomes upon total number of outcomes, right? So what is the number of favorable outcomes? 3. Yeah, 2 is okay with you, 4 is okay with you, 6 is okay with you. And what are the total number of outcomes? How many total numbers can show up on the top face of die? 6. If you simplify this, what do you get? 1 by 2. So the probability of getting an even number on rolling a dice is how much? 1 by 2. The probability of getting an even number on rolling a dice is 1 by 2. Similarly, can you orally think and find what is the probability? Orally, okay. What is the probability of getting an odd number? Probability of getting an odd number is number of favorable outcomes upon total number of outcomes. How many odd numbers do you see here? How many odd numbers do you see here? 1, 3, and 5. So what is the probability of getting an odd number? 3 by 6, because 3 odd number, that's your favorable outcomes, upon total number of outcomes is 6. Again 1 by 2. So the probability of getting an even number and the probability of getting an odd number is the same, 1 by 2. 50-50% chance. 50% you get even number, 50% you get odd number. Equally likely outcomes they are. Okay. What is the probability of getting, let's say, prime number on rolling a dice? So how many prime numbers do you see here? 2 is a prime number, 3 is a prime number, and 5 is a prime number. So what is the probability of getting a prime number? 2, 3, 5. How many favorable outcomes you've got? 3. Upon total number of outcomes, 6. 3 by 6, again 1 by 2. So probability of getting prime number is also 1 by 2. Right? Like that, you can make up as many questions in your mind. Right? Let me give you one more example. What will be the probability of getting a number which is greater than equal to 4? Greater than equal to 4. What is the probability of getting a number greater than equal to 4? See, 4 will work, right? 4 will work because 4 is greater than equal to 4. 5 will work, 6 will work, right? So favorable outcomes, how many favorable outcomes are there? 3. So probability of getting a number greater than equal to 4 will be 3 upon how many total numbers are there? 6. So 3 by 6 is again 1 by 2. Right? It's not that always you will get 1 by 2. You will get different answers for different kind of questions. But I'm just giving you some idea about how can the questions be asked and how to solve them. Right? Okay. I want to introduce to I want you all guys to know what is basically a card game, playing cards. How many of you are aware about playing cards? If you're not, then definitely I'm going to make a gambler out of you today. I'm just kidding, okay? I'm just joking with you. We are going to learn something about gambling. I'm sorry, playing cards, not gambling. Sorry, I don't know. I'm not a. I just have played like very few times in my life playing cards. I'm not a fan of playing cards. Okay, so don't worry about that. I just know playing cards uh, very well because of probability. Probability teaches you what are cards. Okay, so playing cards are total 52 in number. Okay, total 52 cards are there, and they are divided into four suits. Four suits, suits or sections. Okay, so what are these four suits? So first one is clubs, clubs, spades, diamonds, and hearts. Okay, so clubs and spades are black in color. Okay, so I'm going to, I don't know how to draw black here because it's a black screen, but anyways, I'm just going to draw here clubs, spades, are you aware of these? Yeah, clubs, spades, diamonds, it's red in color, and heart. Everyone is aware of heart. Yeah, that's an accurate heart for you, right? Clubs, spades, diamond, and heart. All these 52 playing cards have 13 cards each. 13, 13, 13, 13. Joker is not counted, okay? Joker or clown is not counted. I'm just counting the playing cards, normal playing cards, okay? So what are these 13 cards? First, there are 10 numbered cards. First is ace, okay, with a symbol A. Then 10 numbered cards from 2 to 10. So one ace, 10 numbered cards from 2 to 10, 2 and 10 both included. So that is one ace, 10 numbered cards, and then there are face cards. Okay, these are numbered cards. Numbered cards. Okay, that's an ace. It does not have any category, it's just ace. Okay, the heaviest card or the most powerful card. And then there are face cards, which is jack, queen, and king. Jack, queen, and king. And they are known as face cards. They are known as face cards because there is somebody's face drawn on it or printed on it. So that's why face card. Simple. So each suit has got 13 cards. So if you can see here, okay, the numbered cards are 9 in number. 2 to 10 are 9 in number. I'm sorry, not 10. I made a horrible mistake over here. Okay, numbered cards are 9 in number and the face cards are 3. So 9 plus 3, 12 plus 1, 13. Total 13 cards are there in every suit. So clubs have ace, 2 to 9 and jack, queen, king. Spades have the same cards, diamonds have the same cards, hearts have the same cards. So why are we discussing cards here? We are discussing cards here because probability can be understood very well if you take examples of cards. But for that, you should know what are cards. If you don't know at all, if you've never played and if you have no knowledge about cards, then you cannot understand probability questions based on cards. So that's why I've just this section I have explained playing cards, right? So I think I just wanted to give the whole information about everything. Let me see if something is missing. Hmm, I think couple of topics here and there. Yeah, two topics, two small things are missing. I'm just going to give the information to you. Before that, we'll just have a look at what we have studied till now. Okay. So I have explained you probability, the basic terms and concepts like experiment, random experiment, sample space, then equally likely outcomes over here, right? And then I have explained an event, right? Then the measurement of probability, that's the formula. Then playing cards and how to understand playing cards, right? Now, two more small concepts. Let's have a look at them. Okay. Always remember this thing. Very, very important. Probability of an event can be zero, right? If the probability of an event is 0, it is known as impossible event. If probability of an event is 0, it is known as impossible event. Means that can never happen. For example, what is probability of getting -2 on tossing a coin? Oh, I'm sorry, on rolling a dice. Tossing a coin also it's impossible, but I didn't want to use this example here. On rolling a dice. On rolling a dice. We have numbers from 0 to 6. Is there any -2 over there? No. So favorable outcomes become 0. Total number of outcomes are 6. So the probability is 0 upon 6, which is 0. That means it's impossible for this event to happen. -2 cannot come. So probability can be 0, right? Probability of an event occurring can be 1, and that means it is a sure event. What is a sure event? Let's take an example. Probability of getting a natural number on rolling a dice. Probability of getting a natural number on rolling a dice. Okay. How many natural numbers are there from 1 to 6? All 6 of them. And how many numbers are there in total in the sample space of rolling a dice? 6. So what is the probability of getting a natural number? 1. 100%. 0 means 0%. 1 means 100%. Right? So this shows us, or this brings us to a very, very important conclusion. Probability of an event is always greater than 0, but always smaller than equal to 1. This is a very important thing you must understand about probability. Probability is always between 0 and 1. Between 0 and 1. Always, always. The answer of probability, questions of probability will be either 0 or 1 or any number between 0 and 1. Cannot be greater than 0. Smaller than equal to 1. Okay. Not only smaller than 1, smaller than equal to 1. And here also smaller, greater than equal to 0. It can be 0 or greater than equal to 0. Greater than 0. Right? So probability is always between 0 and 1, both included. Right? So that's the first thing you should know, very important. Second thing, probability of an event not happening. Probability of an event not happening is equal to 1 minus, this is a formula which I am giving you, and you will see the usefulness of this formula. Okay, let me just zoom out a bit so that you can view everything properly. Okay, yes, right there. 1 minus probability of an event not happening is 1 minus probability of that event happening. Right? This can be also represented with a formula like this. Probability of E bar. There is a bar here. Bar means event not happening is 1 minus probability of the event happening, PE. PE bar is equal to 1 minus PE. For example, if probability of an event happening is 2 by 3, what is the probability of the event not happening? How can you find this? Very simple. Let me go to the right side here. So probability of the event not happening is equal to 1 minus probability of that event happening. That is 1 minus 2 by 3. If you take LCM, 3 minus 2 by 3, that is 1 by 3. Easily you can find. So these are the two new formulae, or you can say relations, which I wanted to show you. That probability is always between 0 and 1. Probability is 0, that means impossible event. Probability 1 means sure event. But anyhow, the probability will always lie between 0 and 1, both included. And probability of an event not happening is 1 minus probability of that event happening. Right? So I think we have covered every important topic which can be covered in this subject of probability over here. Everything is covered. Everything which is possible is covered. Okay. Then the next part is to start with the solved examples. But today it was a almost 45 minutes lecture, in which if you see it properly, you will get an idea about what all I have talked. Right? I want you to take all the notes. Right? If you take all the notes, then your concept will be very, very clear. You will have complete idea before starting the chapter. How to solve problems, I will teach you in the next class. But this basic things which I have taught you today, they should be crystal clear in your mind. The concept should be absolutely clear. So I will see you in the next class. Till then, bye bye. No homework for today, but just see this video and be ready, because next video is coming out tomorrow itself, right? So see you tomorrow. Bye.